沉睡的人心潮澎湃，热血流过动脉，别让梦想带着遗憾醒来。总有人被世界淘汰，总有人被记载，在这尔虞我诈的舞台，挺过来。初心人才，坎坷不算失败，不负时代，人生没有彩排，起落都精彩，磨难用双手推开，全力去对待，豁出去才痛快，看我和命运谁厉害。
Luca,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm almost done with this. You can go back to sleep. I'll join you later.
What are you working on?
I haven't been able to work late with boss for a few days now, so I'm running a few tests on the things he sent me.
So you've been working all night. Why don't you become a couple then? Because I'm pretty sure you'd be perfect for each other. The boss is one of us, so I won't really lose you to anyone.
Look, I don't even understand what you're talking about. Stop fooling around. Wait. What? What's up with you?
I'm not kidding around with you. I'm serious here, okay? If the two of you decide to be together one day, I hope you let me know. I'll be giving you my sincerest wishes. Truly.
You said so yourself. The upcoming wedding's going to be for me and the boss. He'll take your place.
All right then.
Hey, I was only joking. You can't even take a joke. I was kidding. Lighten up, will you? Come on, go sleep a bit more. I'll join you later, all right? Come on now, get going, come on. That's it, good girl.
By the way, I also have an announcement. It's regarding the wedding. I'll tell boss that I'm going to be selling all the shares that we have. I want to buy a big apartment, a luxury apartment, one with schools nearby. Also, I want a son.
Do you really have to?
Yes, I have to, Luca. Are you still hopeful? It's up to him if he wants to be crazy. But you're going to have to be with me and go on to lead a normal life together.
I learned the violin for a few years when I was young, but gave up later. I wanted to win since childhood. Whenever there's something I wasn't as good at as the others, I would get upset with myself.
I see. So you've been battling yourself ever since childhood. Okay. And then what? Actually, I've never seen you play violin before.
There was a kid who went to learn a year after me, though he started late and practiced less than me. Whenever we played the same piece, his version would always sound much better than mine. Took me a long time to convince myself that I'm simply not as talented as he was. Thankfully, I didn't fall for the violin, or my life would have been ruined. After that, I found out that there are these people in the world who are biologically or ideologically different from others. They are able to move and impact others, like there's Rodin, Picasso, and Jobs. I wish to be a person like that. Perhaps I can't be like that anymore. But I've always believed that I'm still young and still have a chance. I can work hard and make it. You know what? I've always felt that I'm still fresh out of college, that I'm still young. It's why I admire you guys. You're braver than me. You're willing to admit that you're old.
That's why I said that. We're different. I've told you that right from the beginning. For us, we rely on goals to act on things. You see, for all of us, we view goals as realistic and specific. It's possible for us to achieve them. You rely on ideals. Ideals are, well, it's hard to say. Look, you see, the thing with ideals is you cannot grasp them. You cannot see them nor touch them. Next thing you know, you're traveling further and further away from them too. It's just like hiking. For instance, we can only see the mountain right before us. We just want to climb to its very peak and then enjoy the view all the way there from up above. But you're different. After conquering one mountain, you want to go climb another one. Let me ask you, do you even have a clue on where your last mountain could be? You know, people like you never really become satisfied. That means you don't get the happiness that comes after satisfaction. You just never truly become happy.
Maybe you're right about that. Also, while you were talking there, I was thinking I could at least, I don't know, perhaps run on my way to achieving my ideals. This is my happiness. I'm willing to stay on this track if it means for me to have that joy.
That's not happiness, though. That's a disease. You should seek help.
When Xinjiang was a kid, he loved hanging out with our family chauffeur. I knew him back then. He was a good person. However, he often gambled in Macau behind my back. He was in his 40s. What could I say to him? Then one day, Xinjiang told me there was a scary kid in class who wanted to borrow money from him. So I asked, how much? And he answered, 5,000.
That much money for a young kid?
Yes. He was in elementary school. Back then, 5,000 was an average Hong Kong worker's pay for several months. I gave him the money. No questions asked. Asked my men to find out what was going on. I was worried he might spend it on things he shouldn't be. But guess what? He used that money to pay back the chauffeur's debt.
He's quite chivalrous, isn't he?
The chauffeur was trembling with fear when he took the money. I told him, 5,000's no big amount. If our dog barked well, it would be worth more money. As long as he drives carefully, it's worth it. What's wrong? You don't agree?
Not that I disagree. I just feel that the the money wasn't justified.
And why not?
Issuing a award when it's not due can possibly make the recipient greedy. Like you said, your family dog would be worth more if it barked well. But even dogs need to be able to bark well to get paid. Therefore, I think you were a bit frivolous with that money. Sorry, Mr. Tin. That's just my opinion. Please don't get upset.
Of course I won't. Just leave the equity agreement. We'll take a look and respond as soon as we can.
Thank you so much for your support.
When I spoke with Guo Xinnian, I gave him a good price. But he refused to sell the shares.
Guo Xinnian refuses to sell his shares, and that's all there is. Mr. Tin, please take care now. I should get going.
All right. Wendy. You never would have guessed. The chauffeur did get greedy, and with that he planned to kidnap Jinchang and blackmail me. Just like you said. An undue reward makes one greedy.
This is a personal request. You can choose to reject it. But I truly hope you can do me this favor. I'm completely aware I'm stubborn. I don't respect my superiors, and admittedly, I can be too blunt.
Seems you know quite well about your very own mistakes.
I'm really out of ideas here. I have no other way.
Na Lan. You shouldn't think there isn't. You should know after working in the sector for so many years that there's no endless miracle in one's life. Guo Xinnian insists even when there's no more way out. That's stupidity. If you know he has no way out yet insists on waiting for a miracle, that is delusion. Let go, Na Lan. You're asking me for some advice, but what else can I say? Maybe you can burn some incense and pray in a temple somewhere. Maybe that would help. They say time creates heroes. Guo Xinnian started all the way down from scratch, then becoming a multimillionaire soon afterwards. If he's still not happy with that, there are many people who'd commit suicide by that standard. Na Lan, it's quite apparent that you're blinded by your emotions. All right, I'm going to be straightforward with you. Tell me if this makes sense. Just about all of us fear the reality that might happen. When Guo Xinnian opens his eyes and realizes that Magic Crystal has disappeared, that he's no longer the center of attention, that there is no solution no matter how much he persists, that there's no platform or money, and not to mention a strong and firm technical team. Say you manage to get him a second round of funding, it wouldn't end better than it does now. Take my advice. Just let it go. Pull yourself out of the fantasy already. There are many other, much more interesting things in the world, much more fun than making software. Do you understand, Na Lan?
Mr. Peng, Mr. Gao is here.
Hello,
Mr. Gao.
Mr. Peng.
I'll leave you alone.
Please sit down. Miss Na?
Come with me. What are you doing?
Get in here first.
Alright, enough being sneaky. Tell me, what is it?
I just saw Gao Ti going to Mr. Peng's office.
I saw him too.
Na Lan, you have to be my witness. Tell Guo Xinnian that Gao Ti came to Rufus alone to sell magic crystal shares. I didn't ask him to do it.
Gao Ti is here to sell magic crystal shares?
That's right. When Dad dies, Mom remarries. That should take care of it.
But Dad's not dead yet you're already leaving?
You're right, I am. But let me tell you this. I'll have you know that I'm not the only person who's leaving. Gao Ti, Xu Jiayang, and Yang are also selling their shares. And they're initial shareholders.
In that case, did you go to Wei Yansheng's place to sell shares too?
I knew you would ask me that. Here, take a look. That's from Gao Ti, Xu Jiayang, and Yang. Their authorization letters. They've given me consent to sell their shares for them.
What can this prove? That you're innocent and not to blame? These people used to work closely together. They went through hardships just to create magic crystal. Good for you. As soon as you showed up, you had to ruin everything. So now they're going their separate ways. What do you want Guo Xinnian to do for you? He didn't do anything to hurt you. Did you have to destroy him like this? Let me tell you. This is stabbing people in the back and being a big traitor.
I look up to you for showing great foresight by investing so early on in magic crystal. I admire you for it. I've always wanted to talk with you in person like this, just so you know.
Please don't flatter me, Mr. Peng. The higher one flies, the further they fall. I'm here to consult you about the equity. I would like to know about your opinion on it.
And with that, do you mean you would like me to buy your shares with magic crystal?
If it's possible, Mr. Peng, then perhaps you should consider it.
I want you to know that we've just sold magic crystal shares to Killen. Which comes to the question, if we purchase shares from you, Mr. Gao, do you think that's going to look good? Why, is there something wrong with magic crystal at the moment?
No, Mr. Peng. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
You being here personally means something is wrong. Mr. Gao, you should be honest with me here. Let me remind you, the evaluation of our investment in magic crystal is largely done by this team and not just by myself. And here you are, meeting me in secret. If anyone finds out about this, they would think that magic crystal is no longer a coherent piece, in turn severely affecting the evaluation.
Let me ask you this then. At this point in time, is it true that the only way out for us is to sell all of our shares of Magic Crystal?
I know that you've invested $4 million and have 33% of Magic Crystal shares. Look, why did you invest in Magic Crystal in the first place? Wasn't it to make money? Well, you surely made money now, haven't you? Why haven't you sold your shares? What are you waiting for? For your shares to become useless?
I knew you would think that. Na Lan, don't pretend to be upright at such a crucial moment like this. You're in no position to accuse me. Just so you know, it's not my intention to abandon Guo Xinnian. It was the others who decided to sell their shares.
Everyone can sell their shares with Magic Crystal. Everybody except for you. You know perfectly well just how you got your shares. You didn't work for any of it.
There, you finally said it. You've just admitted you care about it. You pretend that nothing's up, that you're not affected. But deep down, you care about the shares. Na Lan, just admit it. There are times you envy me, don't you?
Get out of my sight! Before I badly swear at you.
Go ahead. Go ahead and curse me. You can even hit me if you'd like. Do you really think I don't care about you completely humiliating me? You said I didn't work for my shares. So let me tell you what not working for something is like. I have to put up with Guo Xinnian, always listening to your voice messages in the bathroom at midnight. I have to put up with him asking for your opinion right before he makes any major decisions. I have to put up with you holding his hand to meet your father. The way he looks at you is like a boy looking at his first love. All these things I have to go through feel like multiple knives, repeatedly stabbing holes in my body.
You know what? Just stop. Wendy, you're getting more and more boring by the minute.
Well, great. Good for you, then. If that's how it is, I can play the bad woman. Tell me, do you feel superior? Up in your moral high ground? Why don't you put yourself in my shoes? So you'll see what it feels like. Na Lan, the reason I said these things was not to fawn on you, nor was it to prove my innocence in any way. I'm only hoping you could convince Guo Xinnian to just let it go and to stop being stubborn. After all, he only listens to you.
Mr. Lee, order some breakfast.
All right, I will. Have you been talking all night?
They take turns to sleep. They won't leave until everything's sorted out. Neither will I.
What? Do you really have to?
Get lots of food and make sure it's good.
All right then.
You've done everything you can. Mr. Peng told me to go to a temple somewhere. He said what I could do is burn some incense and pray for Buddha's blessing. Do you know what he really meant? He meant to say that magic crystal's hopeless at this point, unless some great miracle happens to you. Therefore, you should just let go already.
I see, even you say so.
I'll tell you one more thing. Wendy went to Wei and Sheng with authorization letters from other shareholders.
I know she did.
Wait, you do?
I've always known she'd do it. She also talked to Li Bentang and a few others, so...
Alright, so you're aware then. With that, do you know what this means, Guo Xinnian?
Yeah, it means that I'm like Shang Yu at Gaixia. His soldiers have now abandoned him, and because of that, his empire has collapsed.
You can think you're Shang Yu, but I don't want to be his concubine. Let go, Guo Xinnian. I'm serious. Don't throw yourself off the cliff.
But I don't want to. I really don't want to. At least I still have you and Luca. Isn't there that expression? Push yourself to the edge and you'll survive. If you, me, and Luca can work together on this, perhaps we can save Magic Crystal.
Are you certain you want to do that?
I've already told you, I don't want it to die.
Alright then. I'll give you one piece of advice. Go and buy back the 5% of Magic Crystal shares from Wendy. I'm telling you, she's too destructive. I know her too well. She'll go through heaven and hell just to figure out a way to sell Magic Crystal. She'll do whatever it takes.
Do you have any idea how much 5% of shares costs? I need to pay people their salaries, do system maintenance. I have to upgrade software, and I have to rent servers. I am burning a whole lot of cash here. I can't afford to buy it back.
Then what the heck are you holding on to then? Guo Xinnian, I'll be honest with you. From this moment on, there will be no more miracles, not one. Look at it, you can't even afford 5% of shares. Really, just how long can you last with that kind of cash reserve? Ask your staff if they'll be willing to work for you, even if you can't pay them their salaries. Ask property management if you can keep using the office, if you can't afford to pay the rent. It's not enough with the three of us. It's not enough to have me and Luca. Magic Crystal's no longer the startup it used to be. There'll be no more miracles for it!
There have always been miracles in my life, Na Lan! Back then I had nothing. If you remember, I biked to Tibet with nothing on me. And there, I created Magic Crystal with you. Now it's worth $200 million US. When I didn't know you, all I had was your card. But look at how we are now, we're inseparable. What do you think that is? If that's not a miracle, then what is it? Life without miracles is too damn boring for me!
Xinnian. You can't keep living in just your own world like this. You're only going to end up hurting yourself that way. I don't want to see you go through that. I don't want to see you getting badly hurt.
This drink is for the both of us. This is it. It's time to drink. Bottoms up. Hey, who's next?
Come on, drink up. Oh,
This drink is for the both of us. This is it. It's time to drink.
All right, I'll start.
this drink's for the both of us. This is it. It's time to drink.
Let's drink.
Drink up. Cheers.
我的身体，给我绝对的信心。只有梦，只有爱，只有期待，值得创造的奇迹。我的理想不只是做第一，这个时代需要重新定义。
All right, this is much more like it. We have meat, alcohol, and all this. Otherwise, we don't have nothing but anger. That's not going to be peaceful.
Hold on. Who had an IV this afternoon again and told me my blood pressure is rising? Huh? Now he's all fine since there's hot pot. I think he'll be in the hospital soon.
Jeju Wang looks like he's never had a meal in his life. This celebration is to reminisce those days we lived like a bunch of beggars,
Hey, do you
right?
remember what Jigwang looked like when we were working at that dark little room then? Huh? Wasn't he as skinny as how Wei Tong is now?
right, I remember
But just look at how
him.
fat he is now. He's like a Marshall.
You mean a pig marshal?
Hey, quit humming that tune, will you? Or I'll take you to the pig house.
Yeah, sure
You
you
know why I'm
will.
like this? Because of what happened when we started our business. Do you remember when we started out? When you said you wanted some starch? Yeah, I went to the market to get you some steamed buns. When I got back, Wei Tong asked me to write patches with him. By the time we remembered the buns, we went to look at them. You know what those buns turned into when we checked? They've turned into jade stones. They were covered in green mold.
Come on, let's kill some germs with alcohol.
Have a toast.
Cheers.
Therefore, I wanted to
Cheers.
say
Drink to that.
that if you really wanted to eat something, go for it. Because next time you won't really know when you're going to eat it next.
Hey, I was wondering about what happened to all of us back then. Why were we so motivated? Well, we were all like monks. Jigwang and Wei Tong worked on development. Bantang and I. Hey, it was us, right? The two of us went out drinking with sponsors. And every time we came back, the two of us were drunk like dogs.
Right. Do you remember that time we were working on the emoticons? Yeah, we had no funding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bantang slammed the door and left us just like that. I really thought he must have abandoned us that time and left on his own. However, he came back at midnight. He kept on banging on the door that night. Man, and not to mention throwing up all over the place. He couldn't say things clearly. He got to say two sentences. The first was, "We have money now." The second was, "I'm hungry." So then Yiwei brought out 2 packets of instant noodles from underneath the sink.
Oh, it was him.
It was him. That was sneaky of him.
5 people sharing 1 pot and 2 packets of noodles. It was so delicious. So delicious. It was so good.
Listen, I swear you guys have never had instant noodle soup that good since then. He held a bowl in one hand and a pair of chopsticks in the other one. Hey, why isn't it getting sucked up? I was like, bro, those are noodles, and those are chopsticks you're using. Oh, thank you for that.
All right, come on, drink.
Hello?
I know what you said was right. But I can't just let go.
I have said everything I should. And so what now?
I love you. Thank you for understanding me.
No rush telling me you love me. You can wait to tell me that until I'm the only person left in your whole world. Guo Xinnian, seriously. Magic Crystal's becoming an eggshell for you. If you don't try to get out of it on your own soon enough, no one else will be able to help.
I know. Good night.
Good night.
No, I swear to you guys, that day
remember.
left a completely deep impression on me. Won't be forgetting that for life. The name Killin was decided on that day. Hold on, let me remember. What did Bantang say to us? Okay, he told us that if Killin turns out great and works out, the 5 of us will all be Killin's fathers.
No, hold on, there's more. It's no use to only have fathers, there needs to be mothers too. We've been drinking too much.
All I got from her was just a number, and she never let me see her home. Then I heard you were all so in love with her, with that girl, and you just couldn't stop. All right, your turn. La la la.
Hey, Bantang, come on, it's your turn. Well, every time we get to this song, you always start singing and dancing. What is it?
I've forgotten it. That's it.
You've what? You forgot. There are some things you can forget, and some things you remember for your entire life.
You're right about that. Some things you can forget, and some things you just remember all your life. You know what? Come to think of it, that sounds pretty funny coming from you. I'll have you know, I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten why we became entrepreneurs. I haven't forgotten why we worked so hard. I haven't forgotten about our ideals, and I haven't forgotten that this is all for Keelan.
For Keelan? So is that why you're starting your own project?
Hey, take it easy. We agreed to eat.
I'm not
Easy,
done.
just relax.
Is that why you abandoned the friends who have suffered with you throughout all you've been through? Do you honestly think it was for Keelan's sake?
Yes, I do. Because I can see Keelan is corrupted through and through. Because it has stopped moving forward.
Oh, relax. Just calm
Because all
down.
of you are no longer the people who would rather starve to write software patches.
Have you forgotten who you are already?
What do you mean?
Have you?
Huh?
Have you forgotten who made you, huh? Have you?
Come on, give
Answer
me
the
this.
question!
Come on, man.
Come on!
Well, I haven't. And let me tell you this. Keelan doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the 5 of
I'm
us.
gonna beat some sense into you!
Hey, that's enough
Back
already.
off.
Cut it out.
他总是只留下电话号码，从不肯让我送她回家。听说你也曾经爱上过他，曾经也同样无法自拔。你说你学不会假装潇洒，却叫我别太早放弃他，把过去传说成一段神话，然后笑彼此一样的傻。我们这么在乎他。
Relax. You should be more relaxed.
But I am relaxed.
I'd be lying down on the floor if I relaxed even more.
All right, that looks good. Try to be sweet, okay?
All right.
You know, this reminds me of putting Shushan on my face
Could
when
you
I was
move
a
to
kid
the right?
pretending to be African.
Stop, we know how old you are.
Hey, hold on a sec. Check it out. They look
Ready?
like mother and son, don't they?
That was nice.
On the wedding, we
Mix it
should
up
put
a
up a
little bit.
banner that says, "My mom is the
One,
best in the
two.
world."
You're the worst friend someone can have. You're making Luca all nervous. They
One
might
more.
not finish today.
All right, smile. Ready?
Hold on, I can't do this. Both my knees are hurting. We should take a break. Let's take a break first. We should take a group photo.
Right, we should. Everyone, let's take a group photo. Hurry, come here. Come on.
A group photo? Let's do it. Congratulations.
What's the matter? Let's go.
Now, come on. There's no way I'm joining in on your wedding photo.
Not to mention, we're not dressed for it, no.
Come on, Chayoung, you look lovely. What are you saying?
For good luck. It's a rare chance, Guo Xinnian. Get up.
Hey,
Let's
no
do
way,
it.
man.
Come on.
It's weird for us to be in a photo together.
Let's go already.
It's not weird. We've never even taken a
Hey,
photo
boss,
together.
hurry up. Move it.
Hey, Gaudi, come here. Help me bring
Well,
him
maybe we
this
should
chair.
get changed so we don't look out of place.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
over
wait
here.
a minute. What's this chair for? Who'd you get it for?
Why, it's for you, Guo the Great.
I'm the only one sitting?
That's right.
I mean, you're the boss, so of course you get to sit.
Everyone, stay tight. Keep smiling. Look over here.
How come it kind of feels like we're separating?
平凡又普通，美与众不同，别人眼中的我，谁不想成功，梦醒成英雄，在你眼中我不同。今生只有你看好我，只有你相信我有梦，有你带给我的星空，从未想过离开过。带你我走很久，幸好你在左右，陪我从无到有。爱该不该再等候？快将爱说出口，与你相守。有你陪着我，来完成我的梦，迎接晴时嘲笑的苦。爱带你我走很久，幸好你